Welcome back. And now for part 2. Giles figures out that the bodyguard is not supposed to let the mummy awaken. Buffy figures out that Empada has been acting weird since asked to translate the seal. They go into her trunks and see that they're filled with boys' clothes. Do you want to have a feel in my trunks? No, sighed Rebecca.
Not in the least.
You two are absolutely no fun at all. You feel bad for everyone in this episode. Willow has to let go of her crush on Xander. Buffy has to work instead of act like a normal high school student. Xander is connecting with Empada, but it won't last. And Empada, even though she's killing people, is played with a pathos. She just wants to live and to love, but she's doomed. But then Oz notices Willow. It seems clear that this is going to develop into something. Willow's always been looked over, and Oz truly sees her. Xander and Empada have a chemistry. They really look at one another in a number of the scenes. There are nice close-ups of this when they're dancing. This is also Danny Strong's first episode, who we see at the Bronze for the first time. Danny also acted in The Gilmore Girls. He went on to write and direct many projects, including Recount, Dopesick, and the TV series Empire. He has won 2 Emmys, a Golden Globe, 2 WGA awards, a PGA award, and the Peabody Award. I'm really not fond of Buffy, but I did laugh at her saying, "Mummy dearest." You know the reference? Of course. Just checking. It was Christina Crawford, Joan Crawford's daughter's memoir, and then a subsequent film.
That's right.
No more wire hangers. Or is it no more blood bankers? He who won for Drew. Empada is set to inhale Danny Strong's life force. That actually sounds funny. It sounds like strong life force. He. I think I'm going to stick with he for a bit. That's your prerogative. Don't be derogative. What? No. And I'm derogative?
That's not the case.
I say it is. It's Drew-logative. That's not a word. I'm moving the needle. What for Willie Shakespeare? Nobody called him the barking bard. Back to Danny Strong, since you don't have a strong response. Danny had one line in the unaired Buffy pilot presentation. Then the part of Jesse in the first episode was written with Danny in mind, but he blew his audition. It worked out in the long run because Jonathan is a better part. Jesse appeared in only 2 episodes. The Xander and Empada kissing scene is touching and then ultimately scary. The color palette is very similar to the color palette in the Mummy movies with Brendan Fraser.
Yeah, it was those nice, warm, sandy tones, browns, golds.
The kiss is shot nicely. It's sexy. The score is great here. Nick gets to play more of the leading man in this episode. He accesses a centered desire and depth. He's less the sidekick friend than we've ever seen him before. We got to see a dark side of him in the pack in season 1. This shows him as a genuine leading man. Sadly, this date isn't working out too well for him, though. He's picked a life-sucking partner. Been there, done that. Me too.
Me too.
What does that mean? It's a colloquialism. Why can't you say what you mean? It's very confusing. Shall we continue? Fine. But don't sell me a dog.
We're not doing that?
Oh, I thought you were lying to me. Not lying. The scene turns from romantic to dangerous when she starts to suck his life force. Oh, Willow's reaction when she finds out Empada is the mummy is really funny. She's relieved that Xander won't be with Empada, but then she quickly realizes that she needs to be concerned for Xander.
The smile on her face says it all.
It does. Hell hath no fury. It's a bit like a French farce when Oz misses out on talking to Willow. Spoiler alert. Yes, this will be a running gag. When Empada breaks the seal, it's frightening. We have the Buffy Empada showdown that the whole episode has been building to. Xander and the mummy are fundamentally different. He will not sacrifice Willow for his own desires, but she is willing to sacrifice love to survive. She'll do anything. Xander and Buffy have a sweet moment at the end. The first shot of this episode is what we call a walk and talk, and the last shot of the episode is a walk and talk. Walk like an Egyptian. But we've established she's Peruvian. Walk like a Peruvian. Oh my God. But it works better, I guess, with Egyptian. One less syllable. Peruvian, Egyptian. Okay, with Egyptian. All together now.
Foreign types with the hookah pipe say way-o, 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 way-o. Walk like an Egyptian. It's impossible.
Oh my gosh. It certainly is difficult. He. And you said you love this music video.
You know, it's something I think we're really missing out on these days. Music videos were always so impressive to see the concepts, see the band having fun. And I remember this video clearly.
Yes. And the dance.
Yes, everybody did the dance, and they even had a montage of people on the street doing it.
Absolutely. Our editor, Patrick, edited tons of music videos as well. So many of them that you have seen, he lent his talents to.
Oh, excellent.
I think the relatable theme is falling for the wrong person, a life-sucking partner who will sacrifice you if it means that they come out okay. Also, there's another less central theme that speaks to me. Willow moving on from Xander makes room for someone new, Oz. I believe when you make space in your life, then it can be filled. Often you can replace a negative with a positive, or something unfulfilling and keeping you stuck with something fulfilling which moves you forward.
Absolutely. A lot of times it takes a bit to get out of a negative situation, something that's a bit toxic but still comfortable. I was just reading a quote the other day. The things that we lose ultimately make room for the things that we need.
Ooh, I love that. I did the falling for the wrong person a lot prior to Dev because I replayed the relationship with my parents. Sadly, they were both the life-sucking, sacrifice me kind of people. Another interesting thing that's shown in Inca Mummy Girl is how outward appearances often do not reflect the reality, what is really going on, the darkness. Empada seems so sweet, soulful, and pretty. She doesn't show the world who she really is. Abusive, narcissistic people are concerned with how they're perceived. They want to appear good, but they do not care at all about actually being good.
I think often it's easier to identify a romantic relationship where somebody is draining you. More often, it's a friendship where we're holding part of ourselves back in order to make somebody more comfortable because we want to be accepted. And so we think that the only way we can do this is to hide some of the very things that make us who we are. And I know that I've had several friendships that I thought were deeper than they truly were. And on one hand, it was my fault for not being honest and open about who I was. But it was also the character and the values of this other person. And so you just end up trying to fit in, trying to quote unquote be normal. And you end up realizing like there's no such thing as normal.
No, and trying to squish yourself down and suppress who you are, when you find yourself doing that, it's a good sign that you're not with the right people because we shouldn't have to do that. We should be able to be ourselves and be fulsome with people and not have to do that.
But let's face it, in life, we're kind of rewarded for squeezing ourselves into boxes. So it's really up to us to recognize this isn't what I want. This doesn't fit. This isn't making me happy, and to then make changes.
Yeah, we're taught that in school. And while it's important for us to learn how to socialize and fit into a community, a community should be accepting of people's differences and people's eccentricities, and that's what makes people special.
Yeah. To remember variety is the spice of life. If we're all the same, it's pretty bland.
A really fun thing that I identified with was the mummy. I know that sounds weird, but I grew up in London and had a wonderful third grade teacher named Miss Blum. She was obsessed with ancient Egypt and taught us all about it. She styled herself in that ilk with thick, black, cat-eyed eyeliner and exotic clothing. Walk like an Egyptian. She also did this project where we had to cut up small pieces of paper and put them in this box till it added up to 1 million. She wanted us to see what 1 million looked like. I don't know, maybe she was hoping she was teaching burgeoning moguls. She organized many trips to the British Museum, which still has one of the most comprehensive exhibits of ancient Egypt anywhere. It was exhilarating to learn about times past and then walk through the museum doors and experience it. Seeing the large collection of mummies was scintillating, fascinating, horrible, scary, all these crazy things at the same time. I was 9 years old, so the slabs were about my height, which meant I was peering at them at eye level. Some were fully wrapped, some were not, some with elaborate sarcophaguses and cases, some without. The artifacts and the artwork were breathtaking, learning about papyrus and then seeing it there, almost 4,000 years old, preserved. Incredible. Then there was the Rosetta Stone. The stone has a carved message written in 3 types of writing. It was important in helping us read Egyptian hieroglyphics because the inscriptions say the same thing in 3 different scripts, including ancient Greek, and scholars could still read ancient Greek. The Rosetta Stone became a valuable key in deciphering hieroglyphics. Do you know how the Rosetta Stone was found?
No, I don't.
Well, the story that's most generally accepted is that it was found when soldiers in Napoleon's army were digging a fort in the Nile Delta. They discovered it on the 15th of July in 1799. On Napoleon's defeat, the stone became the property of the British under the terms of the Treaty of Alexandria, along with other antiquities that the French had found. Like in Buffy, going on a field trip was eye-opening, but of course, in a different way. Oh, I got to go on a field trip to Stonehenge. In those days, we just walked right up to the stones. It was awe-inspiring. Now, it sadly has to be restricted because of damage and vandalism. Visitors are now kept at a distance and behind a barrier. Stonehenge, where the demons dwell, where the banshees live, and they do live well. Is that a reference to Mini Stonehenge? I'm really keen to see the new Spinal Tap movie.
You are full of surprises.
You know, they asked me to go on tour with them back in the day. I did not know. What happened? The 1960s to the 1980s were jam-packed. I had a dalliance with Nigel, but that's a story for another time. When I was working with production designer Bill Bowes on our film A Place Among the Dead, we had a scripted sequence with mannequin legs. I found a place online that was much cheaper than anywhere else, so Bill decided to check them out in person because we wanted to make sure that they were life-sized and not Barbie doll-sized. We didn't want a mini Stonehenge moment if we ordered them sight unseen, so he went to this huge warehouse of mannequin parts. He said it was really bizarre, and the couple that owned it were very strange. The legs were proper sized, so he got them, but from that moment on, whenever Bill would send me set elements to approve, he would sneak in a Spinal Tap mini Stonehenge photo. So I would get a text and be scrolling through casket choice 1, casket choice 2, mini Stonehenge. Wood barrel choice 1, wood barrel choice 2 and 3, mini Stonehenge. And it just became a running joke. I laughed every single time. Never missed it. They kept coming through, mini Stonehenge.
Another good lesson from this episode is that you really need to watch what you say around bodies because apparently they are always listening.
Ooh.
Our Inca Mummy Girl, when she talks about all the different places that she's been, she's aware of her surroundings all the time so that when she becomes human, quote unquote, she's able to blend in easily, speak English. And it's because she's just been listening all these years.
What is the line from this episode that you would get as a tattoo?
Oh, it's early in the episode when Buffy says,
It's the Uber suck.
Ah, I have a few, but that's my first one. I love it. It's the Uber stuff.
it's so visual. It feels like it was made to be a tattoo.
It does. That's so funny. Also, I like when Buffy in the bedroom with Impada says,
One normal life coming up.
and when Giles shows Impada the seal and asks the meaning of
This chappie with a knife.
I just love Chappie. What about you, Drew? When Buffy calls her
Mummy dearest.
Shall we do the call out for the Battle of the Uber Buffy fans? We have loads of submissions coming in. We sure do. If you want to be considered as a contender for this season's trivia battle, please email revampedpod@gmail.com. Yes, be sure to include your name, where you weigh in with your number of watch-throughs, where you're located, something interesting about you or something that you think would be good to share, and
Your social media handles.
boop boop be Drew.
Let's get ready to Buffy!
Enough of something extremely different.
Different.
When I was about 12 years old, I was at school and recess time, we're all playing outside. This really lovely guy in my class, Tim, the two of us were kind of chasing each other around, and I took his hat and I was running with it. We had a huge field behind the school, and some people were playing football, some people were playing dodgeball, and other people are just sitting on the lawn. So, not paying attention, I am just running at full tilt with this hat. And then I realized that nobody's chasing me anymore.
Oh,
I stop and I turn around, and there's Tim laying on the ground bleeding. And there is this other guy in our class, Patrick, another really cool guy, also bleeding, both bleeding from the mouth and a little bit from the head. And I walk over and I'm just standing over trying to figure out what's
what
happening.
happened?
Unfortunately, all anybody sees is me standing over two guys bleeding.
Oh, no.
So I ended up going to the principal's office and I'm trying to explain to everybody. We were a very small class. When we graduated 8th grade, there was only 12 kids in the class. We'd known each other since kindergarten, knew each other's families. And I'm just looking at everybody saying, I swear I didn't do anything. I didn't hit anybody. It was an accident. And because of how they were injured, they couldn't really talk.
Oh, no.
So nobody's explaining except me.
It's like a movie where you have the knife standing over a murder victim and you're like, someone handed it to you.
And you're like, everybody, just listen to me. Don't look at anything. Just listen to what I'm saying. Tim's mom was a nurse at the local hospital. So the guys had to go and get stitches and stuff. And I just remember telling her, like, I'm really sorry, but I swear nothing happened. I didn't lay a hand on anybody. But for a while afterwards, I had a reputation that I'd beaten up two guys on the playground.
Oh, you were the badass.
I was for a little brief period in time. Meanwhile, I was also the person who my friend Claire and I would give up our recess usually to sit in the secretary's office so she could go to lunch and we could act like adults and answer the phone. So to have that be who we were, as opposed to like, playground badass. No, it wasn't me.
So what actually had happened?
Tim wasn't looking when he was running after me, and he ran directly into Patrick as he was walking backwards trying to catch a football. And nobody saw what happened.
Oh my gosh, it's like Keystone Cops.
It was just this perfect moment that was awful.
Perfect storm. Oh my God. And were they ultimately okay? They were fine?
Everybody ended up being fine. I don't really remember them clarifying anything to anybody afterwards, though. So,
Really?
yeah, I just lived with that for a bit.
Oh my gosh.
I think they just thought it was funny at that point, watching me squirm. How about you?
When I was 12, my best friend Lori and I went to this summer camp called Trinity. We had this song that we would sing, "Oh Goody." We'd each bought a 45 record at this school fundraiser event, which had all these stalls with items in them. We had no idea what the song was. We played it, and it became our anthem. It starts with, "Red light, green light, speeding through the dark night, driving in the pounding rain. I gotta see Jane. Windshield wipers splishing, splashing, calling out her name. I gotta see Jane." So we will put "Gotta See Jane" by R. Dean Taylor up on Patreon so that everybody can hear it. It still puts a smile on my face. Did you know that song at all?
I hadn't heard that one at all.
The splishing splashing always makes me laugh, that lyric. So just before camp, we decided that we were so mature now at 12 that we would not sing "Gotta See Jane" in anyone else's earshot. We had to do this long hike to what was called the watering hole, this calm river where we would all swim. We were infected by the need to be super cruel at this point. Now that we were the ripe old age of 12, absolutely, no silliness could ensue. So we donned our bikinis and hiked to the watering hole with a very cultivated, laissez-faire attitude. We proceeded to get an inner tube and, positioning ourselves just so, across from one another on the edges, we began to float out to the middle of the water. We were posing with our best indifferent, oh, so cool attitudes when all of a sudden I see panic on Lori's face and she starts to frantically wave her arms. She's losing her balance, which causes me to do the same. And before I know it, we both have tumbled into the center of the inner tube. We're face to face, smack up against one another, pressed together like a sandwich. We try to move, but there is zero space. We try again and again. We're talking in frantic hushed tones, trying to go unnoticed as we devise all these ways to get free, counting to 3 with one moving, the other holding still, all to no avail. All of a sudden, the sounds of kids frolicking and swimming die down. A silence befalls, and we can see that the entire camp is looking at us. To be 12 years old and smushed up body to body like that in an inner tube was mortifying. And as if it couldn't get any worse, the counselor, who was this handsome guy with long hair, swims over, pulls the inner tube to the shallow water, and tries to get it off of us, but he can't. He tells us to shimmy, and still he cannot release us. So we wriggle and writhe and jiggle for what seems like forever, pressed up against each other. Finally, he decides, okay, the only way is to let the air out. It takes him really long to find the valve because it's under this flap. He finally gets it, and it makes a very long and very unceremonious sound. To top off our humiliation, the hike back up to the main campus was very different from our hike down. If it's possible to skulk hike, that is what we did. We were pulling uncomfortably at our bikinis all the way. Definitely not 2 of the cool kids.
Oh, that's painful.
It was painful. We would have been much better off singing Red Light, Green Light. That would have been nothing in comparison.
It's amazing the things that we decide, like, no, I'm too old for this. And then something happens and it just sort of knocks you right back into your reality. That no, I'm still a kid. It's okay.
Exactly.
The missing scene that could have been in this week's episode.
We need Dr. Seltzer to come to the Inca Mummy Girl display stand. I repeat, orthodontist Dr. Seltzer, this is an emergency.
I'm Dr. Seltzer.
We've been patrolling since this installation was set up, and I could swear these braces are new.
How can I help?
This mummy needs you to replace and tighten some wires. I mean, look at those teeth.
Let's have a look. Oh, wow. I need to add some rubber bands and a night guard.
Oh, no. No. Not a night guard.
Did you hear something?
Nope, I didn't hear nothing, but she sure looks cranky.
No night guard. Or I'll suck the life force out of you now.
You know, I think everything is fine as it is. I'll just give her a bit of wax to ease her discomfort. Yup. I'm just gonna mosey away. There you go. Maybe that will make her less cranky.
Interview with the vampire. This evening's vampire question.
Yes, mister.
Vampires seem to catch hold of a style or trend, holding on to something through time. What trend or style aesthetic would you carry with you?
When you ask that, it makes me think about human nature. We tend to do the same thing. Most people hold on to either a hairstyle or makeup from their heyday. It smacks of the era they came up in, usually from the period when they think they look their best. They often keep that going.
True. For better or for worse. That's true.
As far as a vampire aesthetic, what would yours be?
Just as you said, I love collecting different styles from people or places I've been. I'm a big fan of Agatha Christie and love Art Deco.
Ooh, yes.
So I'd probably sport some jewelry or clothing from that time, and it would also be part of my overall design aesthetic.
Ooh, your interior design as well?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, yes. You'd look enchanting like that.
I agree.
Why, thank you.
For me, the French court was quite fabulous looking. This is just for style, as the gluttonous excess rightly led to the revolution. So not for anything but the look. I've played one character and have done 2 photo shoots in this look, but I fear it's a bit extreme. You can't really carry that look through the eras and not call attention to yourself. The white makeup, the poofy wigs. Nah, I don't think that would work. So I think Dru's time lends itself well to modern day. Dru's Victorian elements fit well in the 90s, the 2000s, the 2010s, the 2020s. So I might have to go with that.
What is one to do when one is the epitome of a fashion icon?
Oh, no need to ask you, minion Juliet. I guess I walked into that one.
Walk like an Egyptian.
Not again, Dru. Revamptees, please correspond with me on the Revamped with Juliet Landau Patreon page, on Twitter @Juliet Landau, on Instagram @Juliet_Landau, and on the Fans of Juliet Landau Facebook group or Juliet Landau official Facebook page.
Until next time.
When we do it again, Scooby Dru in season 2. We have Reptile Boy first, I'm aware. Until then, rewatch, revamp, reinvent, and be remarkable you. Boop boop be Dru. Patreon peeps to be read in the credits: Dave Hall, Fawny June Kendall, Daniel Harbour, Louise Brennan, Brandon Key, Cameron Burton, Donnie Ruskin, Madeline Pruitt, Marion Stevenson, Antonio H. Gutierrez, and Bobby Pelham. It makes all the difference because we cannot keep making the show without you. Thank you. Thank you so much.